Okay, I'm also like, I'm not on a roll. I haven't hit a flow state. It is what it is. I'm just like spitballing from just like very superficial issues that I see about streaming university. Like there'll always be a turnout, and I was thinking about it, and it's like Kai is the talent, so Kai has a talent brain. Like yo, like I have an eye for talent. Let me like really try to see what I can see to create the next juggernaut, which makes sense. But in my mind, at least in my mind, because again I have a systems brain, he needs to iron out what that really, well, no, just have me do it, fuck it, let's be honest. Just iron out what that looks like and what your goal is, creating the next generation of streamers or the next generation of like juggernauts, right? Because obviously Kai's a juggernaut in the like in the streaming world, but he came out around 2018. Correct me if I'm wrong, for real, because like in 2018 I was already out of high school for like 3 years, so like I was outside, I wasn't inside watching YouTube. um but yeah, I would not go back to that shit ever. Life is like, hi, I'm gonna give you a shit ton of lessons and I'm gonna kick your fucking ass, and I'm just like, oh, never again, never again. But anyway, in terms of like the system itself, so after you should obviously upload your page of reading a Harry Potter page or two, that would weed out essentially more people, because if you're not fluent and you're not articulate, or if you don't read the page with pizzazz, it's at least in my mind it's an easy weed out. And then after that, it's like, okay, what does your content look like? Does your content capture me, drag me? And then that will be another weed out round. You should have various rounds of weed outs. Like at least I give it at least 5 rounds of weed outs, because that would alleviate a lot of the mess that you've seen in like through people's camera, right? That would alleviate the fighting. That would alleviate the ass shaking. And it's like one dude was like, if it's a half-hearted twerk, you could at least do that shit. And then my stupid ass is like, right? And it's like, no, King of Diamonds is down the fucking street. No, we are not here for this. Why am I like this? Because I'm really like this, right? But yeah, you know, in terms of all this opinion content, if we're being honest, I'm bored. I don't give a fuck. It's like everyone thinks their opinion is important, and it's like obviously I'm adding my 2 cents to that. I think my opinion is important, but at large it has nothing to do with my opinion. It's, yo, you just need better systems in place. At least again for me, it's a simple thought, it's a simple process. And like when it comes to streamlining processes, like it's easy. Like I have a proof of concept for at least like 1 or 2 projects that I've done. Like I built an entire Booksy for someone, and I streamlined. Never mind. That would be a story time. I would actually, if I was able to get like, I guess a couple hundred streams or whatever, not streams, but like views, I'd up that story time about that Booksy. Because if we're being honest, that Booksy is connected to to sex work. It wasn't me though. I think I would technically count as a madam, but that's neither here nor there. And I would say, no, Booksy, you can't sue me, but like, it's not like, never mind. It will be an entire story time. It's a whole thing. Especially when you have to turn the tap off from somebody. It's like, oh, you thought this was a joke. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, but I digress. Another thing he really needs to do, aside from his level of preliminary rounds, when he finally does fly people out, the most he can do, especially if he rejects them, is also like pay them, give them a little something to be like, hey, like, thank you for your time, I'm gonna compensate you as well. Especially on top of everyone around him, I hope they are W-2 workers, because it would just work wonders for the taxes, let's be real. And it would just, I feel like it would alleviate a lot of stress. And then realistically, he also needs HR for a lot of what he's doing. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying, yo, you need to have these additional parameters. You need to have all your aces in their places. But I have a degree in hospitality, so the jargon that I use and the brand that I have is like largely attributed to hospitality, because hospitality is my entire life, and it always has been, always will be. Yeah, if I was to like really, actually, when I dig in a little more to the content that I see and dig in a little more, I'll definitely have more ideas and solutions if people see this shit. We gonna see. With my nerdy ass, I'm just, that's why I like nerdy niggas, because I'm nerdy as fuck too, let's be real.